and welcome back to the Who's He Podcast YouTube channel. Pabu, episode 13 of The Bad Batch, is the topic of discussion for today, and following on from last week's rather excellent Crosshair-centric episode, we return once more to The Bad Batch and a returning character, Fee. It appears that some time has passed as the Batch are assisting Fee with a little transaction for an artefact on somewhere or other we never actually get to find out. Obviously things go south, and after proving that Fee shoots first, the team make their escape in the Marauder. Whilst in flight, the conversation turns to what is to be the main thrust of this episode, and that is, shouldn't Omega be around other people, particularly of her own age? But they're interrupted by an incoming message from Sid, and it appears that Clone Force 99 have finally had enough of her and have basically gone their separate ways. Fee then gives Tech the coordinates for Pabu, and once there, they find out this island paradise is a safe haven for refugees of the Empire. After meeting the mayor of Pabu, Shep Hazard, who welcomes them with open arms and tells Hunter this is a good place to raise children, Hunter is definitely intrigued by this prospect and continues the theme of him wanting something better for Omega. Omega, meanwhile, has made friends with the mayor's daughter, Liana, and the pair of them take a boat out to sea to watch the sunset. Here Omega tells Liana of her losing her home to the Empire and never really staying in one place. Liana tells Omega that they could all just stay on Pabu, which Omega, like Hunter, is certainly tempted by. However, being the Bad Batch, things don't stay peaceful for long as an earth tremor sets off a tsunami, or a sea surge as they call it in the galaxy far, far away. With the team getting the townsfolk to higher ground and Hunter rescuing Omega and Liana with the Marauder, after the sea has subsided, Hunter requests that they stay on Pabu to help rebuild, and it appears to start a new life. Well, not a great deal happened this episode. It was devoid of the Empire, it was more or less devoid of Sid, and it featured the return of Fee, who I found to be bloody annoying last time. However, despite this, I actually really enjoyed this one. I've been waiting for the team to break their ties with Sid for ages, whose character in my opinion no longer served any purpose. But I more or less guarantee that she will be back, and I have a sneaking suspicion she will sell them out to the Empire. But for the moment, no more pointless missions of the week for Sid. But one thing that did make my heart sink was the return of Fee, whose last appearance made me want to throw my TV out of the window. However, in this episode they have calmed the character down. Still sassy, which seems to be the only way that Hollywood can write strong women, but the put-downs are noticeably absent this time. But what seems to have come out of nowhere is there is a possible romance between Fee and Tech, who spend most of the episode together and exchanging a few glances here and there. But, well, why not? Finding love is not something Star Wars does very often, so we will have to wait and see where this goes. But as I said, not a great deal actually happened, but when it did, it was a natural disaster rather than anything to do with the Empire, which was a bit of a departure for this show. The tsunami was well realised, and though we all know that no one was going to get killed by this, but the devastation it left behind certainly showed that for the refugees who had already lost everything, well, they had it taken away again. But what this episode did was to give the Bad Batch another purpose, and that was to save innocent lives. Now, those innocent lives were those of refugees who had been displaced by the Empire. And for those of you watching the UK, this is very topical at the moment. Pabu is the ideal version of what a safe haven is. People of all races finding somewhere to live where they are free of persecution and raise their families in peace. And what is so wrong with that? Now, I know this is simple storytelling, but it's what should be really happening in the real world. Refugees aren't the problem. It's the forces displacing people that are the issue, and that's where the anger should be directed at. But time to climb down from my soapbox and back to where we left the Bad Batch this week. Well, it seems for now they have found a home for themselves. They are basically refugees themselves, and it appears they too have found their safe haven from the Empire and Sid. But as this is Star Wars, we all know this will not last for long, and they'll be dragged back into the conflict once more. But for the time being, it was nice to have a happy ending for once.